Welcome to the Sunday, May 11th, 2025 Massachusetts Pirate Party member meeting. I'm Chair and Somerville resident, James O'Keefe. I'm joined by Eli, Joe, and Steve. Feel free to identify.
Steve Revelak, Arlington, Massachusetts.
Eli McGee, Leominster, Massachusetts.
Jess Fonarowski, Lowell, Massachusetts.
Thank you all for coming to the meeting, and for anyone who's watching this. You too can come onto these meetings mostly every other Sunday. The next one will be May 25th at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can just check the sidebar of masspirates.org. So is there anything to add to the agenda?
Nothing here.
I would just like to note that the Pirate Conference is on a particular holiday.
Yeah, sadly, it's on Father's Day on June 15th. That was the latest day we could get. Unless we want to move it to July, but then we run up against the fourth holiday. But we have not officially announced it, but so that will be going out tonight with any luck.
Yeah, I believe that was the day that worked for everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah, the end of June would have been nice, but the location we wanted isn't available. So that was the latest date. All right. So for reports, there's going to be an email update that will go out tonight. There'll be there's been some posts about the party. There was a meeting of Digital Fourth that I attended recently and told some people about our surveillance camera mapping event. With any luck, I'll be able to do one a week from yesterday. So 6 days from today, hopefully the May 17th or so, or thereabouts, and see if folks want to come out probably to Harvard Square and map the remaining surveillance cameras there. That is, I think, looking at that. The sign-up forms are available. They're up. I guess people have time to review them, so they'll be announced, as I said, tonight. Any other reports? All right, thanks. So the conference is, as Joe mentioned, scheduled Sunday, June 15th in the Lavender Room at Arts at the Armory, 191 Highland Ave, Somerville, Massachusetts. The location is wheelchair accessible. The Lavender Room is in the basement, but there is an elevator. There is a ramp into the building. The building is on is on a bus, several bus lines within walking distance of the Green Line, MBTA Green Line, and there's parking in the back. So in the description will be forms to, if you want to speak at it, register to attend. And speaking of that, so I put together a spring 2025 conference form. Or set of to do. So one of the things that would be nice would be, this was our schedule from last time, how we planned to do it. So opening was, 15 to 30 minutes, starting at 10 a.m. And then everything, I think, was like 45 minutes to an hour. And then we had a closing. So we can leave some of this open, but I'm wondering if there's any topics we want to put into the agenda that we can decide now. We could do running for statewide state and local office. Would that be a good topic to have?
I would think that running for state and local is both good things to talk about. I am sad that I will not be able to attend in order to talk about what I have learned, but maybe I can do a video and have that pre-made.
Yeah, if you do that, then we can go and show it. That would be good.
I'll try and carve out some time, make sure it's done before then, and send it over to you for approval.
Sure. Thanks. So we talked about making Massachusetts more transparent. I don't know, just an idea. So basically, Steve, you did the how to navigate your local government. So basically we have, here, let me, so we basically have 3 to 4 sessions of time of 45 to an hour long blocks. Suggested topics?
Actually, something that I've been saying a lot lately, and I've literally not had anyone disagree with me on, is a phrase, transparency is the opposite of corruption. And so I think that we really should add that into our slogan, um, or somehow work that into our language, where where transparency being the opposite of is. I'm sorry, I've been saying transparency is the antithesis of corruption, and so it really, really rings true with a lot of people who are just absolutely fed up with how corrupt things have become. So
You
I'd
mean
like to
like
see it
the
happen.
plane Trump just was given by, what was it, the UAE just handed over him a plane?
N- the, not just the
or
Trump, but
or the
like
Bitcoin? Or are we just talking local?
our local or like how much like stays are fighting against all the people digging into what they're doing with their overtime BS or just literally anything. I mean, if as soon as the public gets a hold of what people are doing, whether it be downloading a whole bunch of files or what, just every single time we have a whistleblower and how they immediately hammer in on the whistleblower. But if it wasn't for those whistleblowers, we wouldn't have any. I mean, we kind of knew, but we didn't know. We didn't have hard evidence of what they were doing, you know. So I just think it really speaks true to who we are and what we're doing. And so if we want to win more of the public to our side, having that as part of our core statements, I think would really just help win people to us.
Good point. Thanks, Joe.
Well, it's something I'm passionate about.
I'm happy to hear it. Um, yeah, just gotta clean those. I'm thinking Gordian knot. Augean stables. What was it? Hercules. One of his 9 tasks, I think. Augean stables, I think. Gotta clean that corruption out. Other concepts, other ideas?
Sorry, that was
Anyone
the
who
one
we could
brain cell I had
approach?
left.
I'm sorry, say that again, Joe.
That was the one brain cell I had left.
Other people who we could ask to speak? Has anyone heard someone local who would be good to invite?
Nothing comes to mind. No one coming to mind immediately.
I wonder if there's folks, folks who are raising their voices against the genocide in Gaza who might have particular surveillance suggestions. I'll ask around. Maybe there's somebody who knows we could ask.
I know there was a workup. Um, it would honestly be a good thing to connect with Drew. Um, I know that they're about to get ready to do their elections and all that, but having somebody from the national connect us with one of the other affiliated groups in our area, or just even in the nation, um, or even maybe like have Vermin Supreme um, come in and talk about political action, or somebody from the Rainbow Party, or anybody from um, Right to Repair might be a good choice. You know,
Yeah. We can see if there's someone in Massachusetts who's from Right to Repair who'd be willing to speak, or any of those.
maybe are we still have ranked choice voting on the agenda?
What do you mean? We always do ranked choice voting.
No, I know, but are we doing ranked choice voting across? Did we win that fight?
No. Oh, in Massachusetts? No, sadly, that did not win.
So we
But
could always invite.
they're still doing efforts. I mean, there are RCV people who we could invite to speak at it.
I mean, just to see where they're at and how that would affect third parties and stuff like that. That might be a good call too.
Okay. Is there anyone who would be able to contact one of these groups?
Is there any chance, Jamie, you can just put the to-do list on a wiki pad, and
Yeah, it's right
then
here.
and then when you send out the activation, the list us all, and then we can just all work on it together and get done what we can get done on it. As opposed to making any one person responsible, make us all responsible to check off things off that list. And as we get done, start
Anyone,
on the
it is
next
a
one.
Etherpad. Anyone can make edits to this, and nicely, it's all archived. So even if everything got destroyed, you can always roll back to that. So yeah, certainly. We can in the email. I'll tell people about this and see if people are willing to put their names to things.
I meant, what I mean by it is like email people like, hey guys, we really need your help do this, and hit
Yep.
that volunteer list.
Sure.
Just a silly question, but the
Yeah.
one that says 2025 Spring Conference, that
Yep.
is that's what we're calling the event in June.
June is part of the spring. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Technically, I guess. I mean, May, like, yeah,
Okay, no, I
spring
just
started
wanted
in
to
May.
I just wanted to make sure that I was tweaking the right document. That's all.
No. I appreciate that. I went back and forth like, well, is this really summer or is this spring? And it's like, yeah, I mean, spring starts in May, so yeah, I guess so. If I recall correctly, or is it March or April? Anyways, okay, so this is there. Oh, thanks for that. All right, and then we've got a bunch of stuff for conference day, and we still need to check out site, right? So I need to deal with that. And then I know, Steve, you said you would be interested in taking a look at it. Thank you. Yeah, I'd like to make sure we have enough microphones and things. Okay. So yeah, this will go out. And then the other part of the conference is, by probably June 1st or so, we need to actually mail people and tell people about it, which necessitates getting all the list, or at least as much of it as we can. So,
Hey,
put that
Jamie,
together. Yes, sir.
or party, other pirates, Steve and Eli as well. What I'm thinking is what I can do is do an unpost, record the video. What I'm thinking of trying to do with the video thing for the longest time and start recording the videos of in the pirate channel, but not post it, just record it so it's in the system. And then that way you guys can review it, we can edit it, and if that works out, then I can show you, Jamie, and then we could be posting a lot more little blurbs and content as news happens, a lot quicker and a lot easier, um, in order to make that happen.
Sounds
That sounds
perfect.
good.
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
All right. All right. So the internship candidate, I've got the references. I'll reach out to them today, tomorrow. Hopefully get that wrapped up early this week. Joe, you said you wanted to speak with him, so I'll introduce the two of you, and you can work out a time.
That'd be good.
So,
Thank you.
yeah, we need to get this finished this week. So, or so. All right, and so give everybody an update with that. Okay, so there's yeah, I mean, hello. Why is this not loading right? Okay, maybe this is the wrong bill. All right. Yeah, I don't have any updates on the federal bills, or even, to be honest, the Commonwealth bills. And then I know, Joe, you said you haven't had a chance to look at any of these either.
Yeah, which is why I don't want to commit to making any particular attacks on that list other than doing the video.
Okay.
I have fail boated.
So Eli, do you have any updates for U.S. Power Party issues?
No. Last week was an IRC, so nothing happens in those.
Okay. So the conference is coming up in July. Do they have a new location?
Not to my knowledge. I'll double check today.
All right. Thanks. All right. So projects and events, pirate news. Should we try one before this meeting on the 25th? Or should we
Yeah,
wait
I'd
till
like to
June
get.
1st?
I would like to try for one this upcoming week because I don't want it to go too long. Even if we're just doing something short, the shorter ones are easier for people to consume. So if we just keep it to a news article or two, um, again, I really want to get start working on building the little shorts. Like if we make it the little short blast that we could record on our phones and get it so that we could just do, hey, this is what's happening, this is our news take. And what's really being consumed a lot are like the 1 minute, 2 minute, here's our quick hot take on this issue, and just uploading little quick blasts um, as they pop up as they happen, and giving us all access to it so we can all be slapping up content like little contents. Um, much more consumable, will give us a lot more traction. So that's really something I want to hammer home and get done and see if I can't get that to work. Um, but I still would like to keep at least once or twice a month to do the 10-minute longer winded ones where we're having some time to really discuss things in depth. So I'd like to keep that going.
Okay. So, do you want to try one? Are you around, or is anyone around not Sunday, like Saturday or during the week? I know, Steve, um, you're busy with Arlington town meeting. So,
Yeah, I'm hoping that we're done by the 25th. Um, if not, yeah, I think we're likely. I could do something on the 25th.
okay. And then Joe or Eli, are you around the 17th that you'd want to record something? We could try for like a short one on the 25th and a short one on the 17th or something like that. And, just tell people about the conference.
Bump back the time to line up with our meeting time so we don't have to think about, hey, this week it's 7 o'clock, this week is 8 o'clock. I'd rather just be in line with our time with this meeting so that way we just know, hey, 8 o'clock, let's do something. So, it's a little bit more natural.
Sure. I mean, I know if someone else wants to record it, I can give them access. I can't be there the 18th, unfortunately. But if you want to do 8 p.m. on the 17th, I'm available, or I can be. Did we lose you, Joe?
Yes, yes, sorry. For some reason, when I switch over to the calendar view, it doesn't allow me to
Okay.
see it. Um, so you're saying you're not available on the 18th. So the 25th is a member meeting.
25th is a member meeting. That's correct.
Okay.
We could do one. We could do one at 7 and just have, an hour and a half or so. The 7
Um,
planning, 7:30 recording, and promptly at no later than 8, and then start the new meeting.
so you're talking for the 25th, just do a back-to-back double.
Sure.
If that works for everybody else, that's fine by me. And then that way we get next week off. Um, Again, I'm pretty flexible on that. If whatever works for everybody else.
Well, why don't we try that and we'll just see how it goes. Is that okay?
Oh yeah, fine by me.
All right. Before we get to voter outreach, Steve, how are things going in Arlington Town Meeting?
So there's as a little background, town meeting is is a form of, well, it is the legislative branch of a Massachusetts town. Um, we meet once a year, sometimes twice a year if there's need to call a special meeting. But the annual meeting is in the spring. Most towns have open town meetings where any registered voter can show up and cast a vote on legislative stuff. But and most towns finish in one night. Arlington does not finish in one night. So we've gone through 4 nights, and I think we probably have about 3 or 4 more to go. But we have, there has been some interesting things that have come up this year. So a few years ago, we filed a home rule petition asking the state for permission to use ranked choice voting in local elections. Now, the state did not act on this, so we have authorized to send basically the same home rule petition back to the legislature in the hopes that they will let us use ranked choice voting. So yeah, that passed. We also sent a home rule petition asking for permission to set a real estate transfer fee. Now, a couple of years ago, we created this affordable housing trust fund. The idea is that money goes into there and can be used for affordable housing projects. This could be like our housing authority or our local community development corporation, the Housing Corporation of Arlington. And it's been helpful for some things, but there is not a dedicated funding stream. We don't have a reliable way of putting money into the fund. So the real estate transfer fee would be like an extra surcharge on high value sales that would go into the feed the Affordable Housing Trust Fund, and so then they would have money to actually do stuff. This also passed, and we'll see if the legislature acts on it. We have authorized a home rule petition to add 2 more Packy licenses in Arlington. Strangely, in Massachusetts, if you authorize a new package store, the voters have to accept the increase in the license. So if the state approves, this will presumably be on an election, a ballot question in our next local election, a year from now. Accessory dwelling units, the state's Affordable Homes Act put some requirements on municipalities. You have to allow accessory dwelling units. You can regulate them, but it's not something that you can put a whole bunch of red tape on the process for. So this is part of the legislatures and the governor's plan to try to put a dent in the shortage of housing in Massachusetts. We're about 240,000 homes shy of what we actually need. Arlington had an ADU bylaw, so we just had to tweak it a little bit to get it to comply with the new state requirements, so we can get that done. And last Wednesday, we spent the entire night, almost the entire night, on the operating budget, but that passed unanimously. So yay. Upcoming, we have a couple of things. We have the capital budget coming up. We have, the budget for, to authorize our share of paying for the Minuteman Regional Technical High School. We have an article that would allow 2-family homes where only single-family homes are currently allowed. We have some business district rezoning, and it looks like there was a citizen petition or a group of residents that planned to propose something like a Cambridge-style affordable housing overlay. this did not pan out because of some Arlington-specific notice requirements for zoning changes. Basically, it would have cost this citizens group a very solid five-figure sum to send certified mail out to like everybody. So instead, it looks like someone's proposing that town meeting form a study committee to do this under, like sort of as an official town group. But that also means if they propose the change, it will likely not be subject to this onerous notice requirement. I'm not particularly fond of that one. Part of our bylaw, it basically says, and again, this is an Arlington specific thing, but if you rezone a parcel, you have to send certified mail to everyone who, to that parcel owner and everyone abutting them. But it only applies to citizen petitions and not to things that our town's planning body recommends. So there is a certain element of, well, yeah, the notice is nice, but the practicality is you've now put such a financial burden on this that you have to be really, really deep pocketed in order to to actually go through with anything meaningful. So that's basically where things are at now, and I'm hoping 3 to 4 more nights and we can get this wrapped up.
Nice, Steve. Thanks for the update. So is it a peculiar Massachusetts thing where where cities and towns have to do their home rule petition to the legislature, which may or may not get around to even voting on it, never mind voting for or against?
It is a Massachusetts thing, and it comes, I want to say, from an amendment to the state constitution. But basically, the state legislature cannot pass a law that affects a single community. It has to, affect either at least 2 communities. And the state laws limit what local what local governments can do. There are certain things where the state regulations take precedence, or they just they don't allow you to do it. So in order if the municipality wants to sort of change anything outside of the box that the state has given us to work in, we have to essentially ask the legislature for permission. One of the most common uses of home rule petitions involves people who are over the age of 31 and want to go into civil service. So you're 32 years old and you want to serve your community by working in the fire department. Very commendable, honorable thing to do. Well, because the civil service exam is only available to people who are 31 years and younger, you can't just take the exam at 32, but your municipality can send in home rule legislation asking that such and such person be given permission to take the civil service exam. It is there. Yeah, it is sort of a peculiarity of Massachusetts. I don't know what portion of home rule petitions are acted on versus not, but we'll see.
Yeah, I don't think the legislature, Somerville did a home rule petition, the same type of thing, the transit fee. And I don't believe the legislature has voted for or against on that. Joe, you had a question? All right. Well, Joe's mic has gone dead, so hopefully he'll be back momentarily. So for voter outreach, aiming to
Hi.
get all. Oh, yeah, go, Joe.
Sorry, I had to reload my audio. Um, yeah, this was just a quick question for Steve. I know there's a lot going on in Arlington, but how is the high school coming? I know that got a major grant for the high school to be updated and was going through massive construction project. Do you have
Yes.
any idea how that's?
Oh, it's going wonderfully. So just to give some background, back in the late 2010s, so Arlington's high school dates from the part of it was built in 1914, and there have been various pieces added on over the years. So it was kind of a Franken building and kind of falling apart. And it had gotten to the point where the whatever state agency accredits high schools was like, yeah, you need to do something about this or you're going to lose your accreditation. So we came up with a plan. This required a debt exclusion, which basically means going out to the voters and getting their permission to spend the money. But I believe the price tag was somewhere on the order of $294 million, of which 200 we had to pay. That's my rough memory. But at any rate, it has been a phased construction. We are now entering the final phase, and the new building looks freaking great. It is a nice high school.
I know there was a lot of grant money for revamping high schools who were on the loss of accreditation. Were you able to access any grant money for that?
Yeah, the grants come from the Massachusetts School Building Association, and we did get a decent amount of funding from them. Yes.
Good, good. Because that's just something. There's a lot of money to those grant programs, and you know, um, having access to grants and having a good grant writer is a really important thing for any municipality.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that update, Steve. Thanks for the question,
Yeah, that
Joe.
was awesome. Thank you.
Just stepping back to the conference, Eli, could you put together a draft press release about the conference?
Yeah, I can do that. Should be maybe next week. Have it in.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Thank you. And whatever you want to put out, if you're like, well, this is what I have, please offer suggestions, that would be great. Or if you have the whole thing, perfect. You can make quotes up for me or Steve or anybody. All right. So voter outreach, getting the names and addresses. That's my task for this week. And then 2025, 2026 campaigns. Probably focusing on 2026 local or town elections and state elections. So I'll come up with I've already started this needs to be done in these sets of months, and I'll have that for the next meeting. And then nothing else. Anything else to discuss?
Nothing here.
I would just motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Oh. There was one other, this reminded me, there was one other article, and it was contentious. So Arlington traditionally has, when voice votes have been used at town meeting, the kind of thing will be all in favor say yes, all opposed say no. Which is fine. This has been in our bylaws. It's been tradition for like frickin' ever, right? Going back for generations. And there was an article that, basically proposed by the Town Meeting Procedures Committee to see if the moderator could call for votes at the moderator's discretion using yay and nay instead of yes and no. The reason being that yay and nay end with the same vowel, so they sound similarly, where yes and no have different vowels, and no tends to sound louder. This passed, but boy, was there a lot of gnashing of teeth about about yay and nay.
Don't you all have some like clicker thing that you can do to vote for it?
We do, but sometimes it's easier to, it's fast. Sometimes it's just faster to take a voice vote.
Okay.
If someone is motioned to say terminate, the clicker votes are set up for all of the warrant articles. So there's like that part is just like bang, 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 bang. Where it gets more challenge, where you have sort of one-off things, is someone motions to terminate debate. A motion to terminate debate is like, I'm done with, I've heard enough, can we vote already? And it requires a 2/3 vote. And so what will typically happen is the moderator will call for a voice vote, and if it seems clear to them that that a supermajority is ready to stop talking, we'll do that. But if 5 members of town meeting disagree with the moderator and they stand up, then we have to take a clicker vote, and someone's basically just gotta like type in motion to terminate debate on Article 37 and just basically do the setup on the fly. So the voice votes are a useful thing for like the impromptu voting that comes up during the course of a meeting.
Thanks for that update, Steve. Can anyone show up and record these?
Yeah.
Okay.
As anyone can. So our meetings are held in the Arlington Town Hall. Most of town meetings sits on the main floor of the auditorium. There are, some that there is a smaller group that sit up in the balcony in the rear of the hall. Basically, people who would not like to get too close to like so many other people, health concerns and whatnot. But the balconies are open. The side balconies are open for anyone, and our local community access cable television station does record them, and they're posted online. But yeah, anybody can just come and watch or record or whatnot.
Thanks, Steve.
Actually,
Mhm.
that adds a point that I wanted to ask is something that we can do. All the different municipalities generally have their town meetings in public access, and I was wondering if we could add to our wiki at least a legend somewhere that gives us access to um, all the different town meetings from all the different towns across Massachusetts. That way, we kind of become the one-click stop for, hey, this is Massachusetts. Here's every town meeting in every town. Click on your town to have access to your local town meeting.
I mean, I'll
Yeah.
put together Etherpad, and if people want to add to it, that would be great. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm.
And then we can
It would be a
figure
good
out
start.
how we do that. Cool.
Yeah, just something to add to the wiki for people to, if they want to know where their local access channels are, and just make it a little bit of work for a lot of convenience for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Something I thought of a while ago.
Cool. And so with that, I will say aye as well. And the adjourns have it. And so we are at an end. I thank you all very much, Joe, Steve, and Eli, for attending. And just a reminder, we meet generally every other Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's information on the sidebar at masspirates.org. And My dog really wants me to go take him for a walk. So I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you all very much. Thanks for folks watching, and we hope you'll come to the conference. There'll be links if you want to speak or you want to register in the description. And again, thanks so much. Have a wonderful week or 2 weeks.
Thank you.